John Wayne Gacy, the Killer Clown, full story. It was December 1978, in a quiet suburb near Chicago. Snow rested gently on rooftops, Christmas lights flickered in windows, and the neighborhood felt safe, almost too safe. That evening, a 15-year-old boy named Robert Piest stepped out of a pharmacy after telling his mother he was going to meet a contractor about a job opportunity. It was supposed to be a short meeting. He never came back. In that same neighborhood lived a man everyone knew, John Wayne Gacy. He wasn't the kind of person you'd fear. He owned a construction business, attended community events, and often hosted gatherings at his home. People described him as friendly, helpful, even generous. But what made him especially memorable was his unusual hobby. He dressed as a clown named Pogo, entertaining children at parties. In bright makeup and colorful costumes, he made kids laugh while parents watched with comfort, never suspecting anything sinister. To them, he was harmless. To the world, he was invisible. But behind that painted smile, Gacy lived a second life. At night, the friendly contractor became a hunter. He would drive through the streets, carefully choosing his targets, young men and teenage boys. Sometimes he offered them work. Sometimes money. Sometimes just a ride home. It always began the same way, with trust. And it always ended the same way, with silence. Once inside his house, Gacy would often present a strange little trick. Smiling casually, he would bring out a pair of handcuffs and say, "Let me show you something." It seemed like a joke, a harmless game. Until the cuffs locked. That's when everything changed. The playful tone disappeared. The clown was gone. In his place stood a man obsessed with control. His victims were no longer people to him. They were objects he could dominate completely. This need for control was at the core of his crimes. Gacy struggled with deep psychological conflicts and hidden urges he never confronted. Instead, he turned them outward, seeking power over others. The more control he gained, the more his dark impulses grew. Over time, this turned into a pattern, one driven by domination, secrecy, and a chilling lack of empathy. Above ground, his life looked normal. Below it was a nightmare. Beneath his house was a narrow crawl space, dark, silent, and hidden. That's where Gacy buried his victims. One by one, over the years, they disappeared into the earth beneath his home. 33 young lives. While just above them, Gacy hosted parties, laughed with guests, and lived as if nothing had happened. Neighbors chatted across fences. Music played. Life continued, completely unaware of the horror lying just feet below. Everything began to unravel after Robert Piest vanished. When police started investigating, all signs pointed toward Gacy. Still, he remained calm, welcoming officers, answering questions, even joking with them. But something about him felt wrong. The deeper investigators looked, the darker the truth became. Reports of missing boys. A criminal past. Strange behavior. Finally, they obtained a warrant to search his home. The moment they stepped inside, they noticed a foul smell. Then they searched beneath the house. What they discovered stunned even the most experienced officers. Human remains. Not one. Not two. Dozens. The truth could no longer be hidden. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Gacy confessed. Calmly, disturbingly, he described how he lured his victims, how he controlled them, and how he ended their lives. There was little emotion in his words, only a chilling acceptance of what he had done. In 1980, he was convicted of 33 murders. Years later, on May 10, 1994, John Wayne Gacy was executed. But his story didn't end with his death. Because what haunts people most isn't just the number of victims, or the brutality of the crimes. It's the fact that he didn't look like a monster. He was a neighbor, a businessman, a man who made children laugh. And that is what makes this story truly terrifying. Backhand index pointing right, evil doesn't always hide in the shadows. Sometimes, it wears a smile. Welcome to Real Crime Stories USA, where every story is real, every detail is chilling, and every truth will leave you speechless. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Bell.